Okay, shalom, shalom. Kum yasha'Allah, koholoyun la yawa bashim yawashai. Bahashem Rahahadash, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth, and just want to take the water toward the H.I.M and H.I.M. That's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yawashai to the best of their ability. This is Jachanan Nawaf, just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And as you can see playing in the backdrop here, I'm just letting it play, no volume, because I don't want to get a copyright hook up on the channel. Got one the other day. They kind of just, it's not like a strike, so that's a good thing. But as you can see playing in the background, it's entitled Microchip Implants Could Improve Lives, but Cost Privacy. So how could it improve your life if it's going to cost you privacy? That don't make a lot of sense, right? That don't make no sense at all. Why would I want to lose my privacy? I don't see that improving my life at all, because if I'm losing my privacy, then that means that somebody is able to get into my accounts, get into, stolen identity, things of that nature, so on and so forth. So why would I want to, go through that? All for the sake of opening a door that I can open for myself with a key, or buying something from a vending machine, which I could do with the same way with their, the cash that's being used forever. Why would I, need that for a password? I no longer have to put my password in on my computer or my phone or any of these things. It's not worth it. So what are they really trying to do? Why are they really trying to make, I know we have this microwave generation where everybody wants everything instantly. And you have Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay, all these different things. But what that's going to lead up to is the so-called white man basically putting that thing in you as a person. And if it's in you, then, of course, they're going to be able to track your ass anywhere. And it's going to be embedded in you. Your skin is going to grow over it. It's not going to be something that you can go in. I mean, hey, you can probably chop your damn hand off, or, go off and, prick off into your hand or prick off into your forehead or wherever they put it at and try and get it out and suffer some nerve damage and possibly a bleed out. But I mean, it is what it is, man. So this is a big thing. Now, this particular video was 5 years ago. They had movies on it. This one right here was 4 years ago. This one right here was 10 months ago. This one was 6 months ago. So as you can see, it's coming all down to today. And there are people out here that's living. It's so many of these stories. Now, if this information was out here 6, 7 years ago, 8, 9, 10 years ago, which we believe was been longer, this is 7 months ago, news stations are, reporting on this stuff. So if this was years ago, you have to know that this technology is out here and that we've seen it. We've seen it in action. It's been all over the news, so it's nothing you can get around. This was 4 months ago right here. Man uses chip implant to pay at gas station. See? He walks right up. I've seen this one before. He walks up and the guy behind the counter is like, damn, what the, is that magic? So it's out here. It's countries that are into it and they're using it. And, hey, you got Elon Musk with the Eurolink and all this other good stuff. So let me grab a quick scripture real quick. A little quick lesson, man, because I had a dream last night about this. And it was vivid, man. It was a really vivid dream. And I could see in it, I was like, it was just like how easy this is going to be. They're going to push this as if it's so easy. They're like, it's nothing for them to do it, because it's nothing for them to. The average person that has been getting this done, they ain't been doing no more than going to somebody that could pierce your nose or pierce your ear or pierce your tongue or pierce your lip or your eyelids. Or, there's people out here getting piercings. The people that are actually implanting these things, so to speak, are just body piercers. So just think about how easy and simple that is. Now, in the dream that I had last night, I can remember I was like in front of a counter. And it was some items in this particular. It was like a little turnaround, almost like a vending machine. Kind of remind me of like a vending machine. A little turn. It was spinning, turning around, had things in it. And on one side, it was two things that was the same. Matter of fact, they were like watches or something like that. And they were both the same watch. They had purple. Actually, they both of them was purple for some reason. And on the left side, no, on the right-hand side, it was the cheaper version of it. Now they were the same quality, but it was just that if you had the MOTB, the chippity chip, it cost you less to get it. Then on the left side, they was right by side with each other. Then on the left side, it was more. You had to pay more money if you didn't have the MOTB thingy in you. You know, the chippity chip, right? And I'm in this dream, and I'm like, I can see it. And you know what? I woke up out of it. I meditated on it and kind of fell back to sleep. It just wouldn't go away. It was the same thing. And I'm looking, you know, like it was a vivid dream. I could literally see this thing happening, man. And I just remember like how easy. Like, oh, that's nothing for them to do that. It's not going to be anything for them to do that. Why? Because when it comes down to money, and especially with Jake, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you know, and a lot of so-called white people right now, Esau, Edom, they struggling, you know. So, of course, with inflation going on, it's expensive as gas is, car insurance, the kids need to go into dental work, they need this, they need that, they need school clothes, need shoes, need paper, pens, you name it, man, whatever. You know, people need things. You see what I'm saying? So when it straight comes down to it, people are just going to be going for what they can afford. And if it's going to be more affordable if they get the chippity chip, then they're going to get it. That's how they're going to use it, basically. They're going to use that thing to basically get people to make decisions. I done a lesson about 2 weeks or so back where it was, you know, I went off into, what did I call it? Where basically you're either going to be, I'm trying to think what I called it on that video. You're going to be under compliance or not, just basically. You're going to comply because you're in need, and they're making it to the point where you need them. You get what I'm saying? The average person don't know how to farm. The average person don't know how to go fishing. The average person don't know how to go hunting. The average person don't know anything other than going to Walmart and get what they need to get. They don't know anything about a barter system. I'll trade you some corn for a couple of pears for, you know, some carrots. They don't know anything about a barter system, any of that stuff. They're just going to be like, I got to go to the so-called white man and get everything that I need because that's the way that he set it up. So if you're not believing in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, it's a good chance that you could fall for that. And that's the reason why we do these lessons. But let me go into 2 Corinthians 2:11. And it's just, you know, I've been thinking about it all day. I'm just going into it from this morning because I literally, I was in that dream, man, for a minute. Then I went back to sleep, went kind of like back into it, like, wow. 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. See, we're not ignorant of the fact that he's going to cause supply and demand. He has the supply. You're in demand of what he has. You have to have it. The children got to eat. If this man is saying, hey, look, we're going to cut down, we're going to shut the dollar down. There's not going to be no more paper money. There's not going to be no more coins. There's not going to be any of that stuff. We have a new banking system, which they're already going into. We already know that. Joe Biden signed into executive order, you know, I think in March. The CBCD, I think it's called. But it's going into a digital mode. So if you're not within that digital mode mindset, then you're going to be through. But what are the people going to do? First off, they have a lot of people already entrapped with what they call food stamps, SNAP, welfare, housing, you know, as far as Section 8, Medicare, Medicaid, things of that nature. They already have the people already dependent. It's like a drug, you know, like, you know, a person that you know, it's a drug dealer in the neighborhood and he got you just the right dependency upon him for your next fix. And you can't live without that next fix. You're going to die. You're going to vomit up. You're going to spill up your gut, you know, spit up your lunch, man, so to speak. You just thinking about next month, the first of the month, the 15th of the month. You see? So this is what we're dealing with out here, man. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. This thing is coming to pass, man, right before our very eyes. We're living in the last days, man. When you go into Matthew chapter 24, verses 3 down to maybe like 12, 13, 14, that whole chapter actually, but mainly the things that the apostles, they was asking the Lord, well, what would be happening in the end days just before your coming? And the Lord went off into some things, man, that's happening. They're happening strong. Now, you could say, well, that's always been happening, but not in this sequence that is happening right now. Because right now you have pestilence, famines, you have earthquakes in diverse places. You have wars, rumors of wars. See, it's a collection of things that's happening all at one time. You know, yeah, there's always been earthquakes. Has always been some type of disease or a plague or a, war here or there, proxy war, skirmishes here and there. But we're talking about in a sequence where they're all happening like all at one time. And then the Lord, in the Apocrypha, it talks about measuring thou the time diligently in itself, right? So we have to measure these things. This is a time clock. This is like, you watch an NBA game and the guy's bringing the ball up the court. And he only has 6 seconds to go, you know what I'm saying, to get off a shot. And hey, when that time run out, that's it, but he has to get off that shot before those 6 seconds go down to try and give his team a chance to win. So by the clock that we're on, as far as the scriptures, we're looking at the clock and it's ticking and it's ticking and it's ticking and it's counting down and it's counting down and it's counting down. And we can see, the results. But I mean, if you getting blown out and the clock is running down, you're not so prone to run the ball down the court. You down 30, no matter what you do, it's a wrap. And that's pretty much what's happening with the so-called white man and his kingdom. He's trying to bring the ball down the court as if some magical thing is going to happen within 10 seconds for him. But he's down 30, man. It's a wrap. It's over with. And this place is done. So according to Revelation 12 and 12, they know that they have but a short time. The so-called white man, he's implementing these things. So we have to watch out and be on the lookout, man. But these things are happening in sequence. Uproars of the people. You can look at, I watch Euro News. I don't know about, what news you may watch, but I would say if you can, especially if you have like a, Apple device, you can generally get that Euro News app. But man, you can see the so-called white man is through. That's all over the globe. These damn Europeans, what they call themselves Europeans, but their biblical name is their Edomites. That's their biblical nationality. Man, they through. They are finished throughout the earth, man. The Lord is doing a real number on them. But this is Revelation 13, 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name or the beast or the number of his name. And like I said, again, they're going to try and make it seem like, Universal Payment Center or whatever. We're going to do this for you. We're going to do that for you. Just bring the children on down. We're going to need to, implement this thing in you so we can, barcode your ass. Beep, beep. When you walk through the door, your cameras. Walmart got the cameras on you before you can get out your car. They already know if you got money on yourself or your account. I would say yourself, because your account is going to be within you. They can tell as soon as you pull up. They can take a picture of your license plate and say up, and then a camera can hit you through the windshield and say, that's such and such, such and such. He has no dollars on his account. The doors is just going to lock on you just trying to walk in there. What are you walking in there for? You don't have no money on your account. You don't have no money on you, as far as digital wise. What are you walking in here for? They're going to cut down. All these companies are going to be into it because it's going to so-called cut down on their loss prevention. There is not going to be no more theft. People are going to be, I don't have money on me. They're going to run this shit down like you're not going to get robbed. Why? Because you don't have no money on you. There's not going to be any cash, more money. You're not going to get robbed in your store anymore because there's not going to be any cash. As soon as that person walks in, we know who he is and who he is. We already know. We done had a call on him before. And then just a street light can have a camera on it and flash down on you. Like that's such and such, such and such. He's over in this area right here. Next thing you know, RoboCop. They pull up on your ass. Because this is what it's all going to. They're really in control of being in control. Straight up. That's pretty much what it's all coming down to. So we're living in the last days, man. This thing is about there. The so-called white man, he wants to put that digital oil in you or digital brand on you. You know, just like cattle. They look at you like you're cattle, man. What do they do to cattle to specify that this is my property? They brand them. You know, they're a little more humane. In this time period where they'll kind of put the tag on their ears. You know, still that's a piercing. That's a real strong piercing. You know. And they'll have a yellow tag or whatever state it is. It might be red, green, whatever. You know, this guy or, have their numbers on it. They can run right up on the cattle, the cow, the bull, whatever. And they can put a barcode. They can beep it, beep. That's mine. Got a locator in it. You know what I'm saying? They can run you down. They can run animals down, sheep, goat, whatever. Because they looking at you humans like you're animals. But who's doing that? It's the so-called white man. No other nation of people or race of people are really that adamant like that. Now, the so-called Chinese, don't get me wrong, they're on point too. They're trying to do their thing too. But those are all enemies of the Lord. You see, they want to totally enslave you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's what they're trying to do. So I just wanted to touch on this for a hot sec. I don't want to keep this lesson long. As you can see, Elon Musk, hey, this dude all over the place with it. But hey, Sweden, they own it. You got this one right here, Sweden. As you can see, he's barcoding right through his phone. Looks as if he has it in his arm. Slovakia. But look up some of these. All you got to do is put in, I just put in chip implants. And you're going to see mad videos pop up, man, of this chip implant thing, right? See? Forbes. This is not being talked about for nothing, man. This was a year ago. And Esau already got everything is ready to go. Look at this stupid, doofy looking bugger right here. Sitting there looking stupid as hell. I got a chip implanted in a biohacking garage. See? So it's not, that's why I said in my dream, it was easy. It was nothing for people to get it because like I said, the only people that I've ever heard of doing it is a tattoo artist, regular old tattoo artist. A tattoo artist in the hood can have a tattoo party and implant your ass. Have your ass all linked up. Have your phone linked to your ass, your car, your bank account, you know. And this is what it's all boiling down to. People are walking in the stores, literally swiping their hands. You got Amazon Go. You can't sleep on this stuff. Don't let these camps out here fool you into thinking that this thing is not happening, man. This thing is happening. This thing is happening right now, man, on a day-to-day basis. Just because, see, they give you a lot of bread and circus. They just want you to just, you know what? This is going on with the Emmys. This is going on with the basketball game, the football game. You know, they got you at, you're carpooling your kids. You're trying to get to their cheer practice, soccer practice. My son got kung fu practice, whatever. They got you all over the place doing all kinds of shit. In the meanwhile, these people are in the backdrop ready to just drop the bomb on your ass, man. And it's going to be too late for people because it's going to be right up close and personal. And it's nothing you're going to be able to do anyway because it's, Matter of fact, let's get this. It's a part of the end time prophecies. None of us can get around this temptation that's about to come. So it's going to be like, okay, are you going to rely on the Lord, Yahweh, or are you going to rely on Satan's physical counterpart, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man? Which one? See? Because you got some camps out here that's telling you that this market of beauty and the beast is sin. It's an embargo. It's all these different things. They're not telling you that these people want to put this shit in you and that this right here is the real mark, man. The Koragma. They don't want you to know that. This is 2 Esdras 9:1, right? He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So he's saying measure the time diligently. What are we measuring? What are we looking for? The things that he told us to look for. The earthquakes in diverse places. The the wars and rumors of wars. These people are talking about nuclear war every day, man. It's not just wars or rumors of wars anymore. They're talking about literal nuclear war. These nations are talking about literal nuclear war. North Korea, Japan. They shooting down rockets over Japan. America is an ally to them, so they're trying to hold down South Korea. China, America trying to hold down Taiwan from China. You got Russia, America trying to hold down Ukraine from Russia. So you got all these different things going on. America is just stretched too thin, and they're trying to fight all these different nations, man, throughout the earth. And NATO is not kicking in like how they're basically saying they're going to kick in, man. You got Germany. Germany didn't want nothing to do with this shit, but they don't have no choice. Their hands are tied because they're a part of NATO. So they had to kind of put some military might out there, so to speak, with those tanks and stuff that they sent. But overall, man, these nations, matter of fact, they just had they were just over here chanting. Them damn Germans, they just had a protest over there. I think today or yesterday, it was about 10,000, 15, 20,000 people out there, talking about, hey, stop supplying Ukraine with weapons because you're going to have us go off into World War III. I just seen that earlier today. You see what I'm saying? So this thing is happening, man. So it says, verse 3, it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. See? So we're starting to see these earthquakes. Do you see what I'm saying? These uproars of the people. Because these people are looking like, what the... Hey, all over the globe, it's Edomites, the so-called white man. Hey, they coming up against these governments because they like, hey, look, man, what the fuck, man? We tired. What are y'all doing? You are no longer benefiting us as citizens. The citizens are stretched thin now. See, the so-called white man, he used to be able to get over, and he had it smooth because this is his kingdom. But guess what? The elite of his kingdom are taxing the shit out of them, stressing them to the point of no return, man. See, it used to just be Negroes. See, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, hey, we always been used to just working our asses off and just trying to make ends meet. See, they've always had, a cabin up, for the summer, a cabin for the winter, 2 jet skis, and, they got the RVs. They're able to ride the country for vacation. They going to Disneyland. They got a house down south. They got a house up north. Now their asses is just like, what's going on here? They done sold every damn thing that they have except for their RV, and they're living out of a Walmart parking lot. You see? So this is where we're at right now, man. So it's high time to awake out of sleep, man. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, it's high time to get your asses up and really think about what's really going on out here, man, because the Lord is about to do some real damage to this place. And if you're hand in hand, if you're caught up with the so-called white man, which the scripture says the wicked shall not go unpunished, you linked up with him trying to save him, the Lord going to do you all kinds of dirty too. So it's high time to awake out of sleep according to Romans 13 and 11. Coming out of that works of darkness, Romans 13 and 12. And repent to the Father Yahweh in the name of his son Yahushai. Those are the true names of the Father and Son, man. So I just wanted to touch on the implementation of the that mark of the beauty and the beast is what I call it for sake of algorithms and things. Because it's coming, man. You can clearly see it. These little finances that everybody is holding on to in these banks, you might as well go ahead and spend and get what you need, man. And be set and prepared for what's to come. Because this man is going to more likely wipe all those accounts clean. Can you imagine a person, he had $200,000 yesterday. Let's just say he had, especially a person that's just living check to check anyway. He got $1,200 in his bank account. He wake up tomorrow and it's all gone. His account is on zeros. They just had that Bank of America hookup not that long ago, a month or so ago. People woke up and you know, their accounts were, money was taken from the accounts, and they like, well, where did it go? It's just a glitch. Hey man, they can glitch you at any time, and they're not accountable for paying you back by law, man. These so-called white people, the elite, man, these people can literally take your money out of these banks and don't have to pay you shit back. And who you running down for answers? What, you gonna run down the CEO of Bank of America? You gonna run that? He's just a CEO. He's just an employee. What you gonna run him down for? Who you gonna really get at? You gonna go after Wells Fargo? You're gonna go after Citibank or you know, any of these places? Who you gonna go after? They can easily tonight. Oh, we had a cyber attack. Russia just cyber attacked it. You don't know no better. You ain't gonna know if it's true or not. But your money gone. It's zapped. So, and that's what people are going to be worried about. How am I going to get gas? How am I going to get food? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? It's about to come to a point where the so-called white man system that you've been relying on for so long is about to be shut down. And your ass is about to be stuck at home with your children that you pushed off on the so-called white man in their schools. And you couldn't take it. Hey, when COVID-19 went down, it was a lot of people. They never had the experience of dealing with their children 24 hours a day ever, man. Not for that long a period of time. Maybe for the weekend if they were off, but still, you know, a lot of them go to work. Mom at home with them. You see, it was a lot of men. They never had to deal with their wife like how they dealt with their wives. It was a lot of women that, hey, those wives didn't have to deal with their husbands 24 hours a day. Now all of a sudden, COVID got everybody in the fucking house. Nobody had to go nowhere. And now you dealing with somebody that you literally dealing with somebody that you've never dealt with like that. Alicia was able to get away for 8 hours a day. You know, you going to work 8 hours, 9 hours or so. You might be going somewhere afterwards. You know what I'm saying? The kids, you ain't dealing with your kids all day long. You ain't dealing with your kids screaming and crying. You not dealing with your kids. You got to make them breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between. You see? They up all night because they've been sleep all day, or they up all day because they've been sleep all night. They sleep is off. Now you just trying to work from home. Hey, that cut into a lot of stuff, man. So you have to realize what's to come. Because when this whole thing shuts down, that's going to happen again, but it's going to be permanently. The grinding shall cease, man. According to Ecclesiastes, the book of Ecclesiastes, I think that's chapter 12. The grinding is going to cease. I was just looking at all these job cuts. I'm talking about job cuts on a lot of levels. See, they ain't giving you the full truth as to what's going on, man. But I just wanted to just touch on that for a hot sec. I had the dream about the chippity chip chips. It was pretty vivid. And this is the time period we're living in. And they're going to come and start implementing this stuff very, very soon, man. So keep your head on a swivel. You know, hey, we're waiting. We're patiently waiting on our Lord, man. And we're praying for these things to happen. And happen more often and more frequently. Because if they don't happen, then the longer we have to wait. We're hastening the day of our Lord. Fuck this place, man. This place is through. So with that, I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala.